Hello, Racing TubeTalk.
Welcome back, Douglas. Good to have you back after Kate stepped in for the Melbourne Cup preview.
Yeah.
The very successful Melbourne Cup preview, which we'll talk about a little bit later on.
But we'll start with last week where Atishu won the Group 1 Empire Rose.
She did. What a run. What a special mare. Had to be very good to come from where she was. The last 100 metres just lifted herself over the line. Very well deserved. Group 1 won. Very exciting for everyone. And her earnings have gone past 5 million Australian now.
And Skyman was an excellent running second.
Yeah, at Ellerslie, he's coming up well. The source that he's closing on 1.2 million in prize money too. He's coming up really well. It's a perfect race for him next. He was carded 62 kilos on Tuesday. There's a set weights and penalties race in the month over a mile with 120,000, which I think he'll get him with about 55 kilos, 56. Perfect race for him. And he likes Ellerslie.
And then the Melbourne Cup.
Well, you tipped Warp Speed.
Yeah.
So you ran second. Last year you tipped Without a Fight. Nobody tipped Knight's Choice. How could you?
He was paying 35, wasn't he, or something?
No, he was paying, on the exchanges, it was $300. On the tote, he only paid 60. It was like, that's well under. That's one, you once see your punters putting $1 each way on the horse, the name they like. But I couldn't have picked him on breeding, on the way he's been performing. But it's what makes the Melbourne Cup have such great stories around it. Sheila Laxon, who trained him, she won the Melbourne Cup in 2001 with Ethereal. So she's now had 2 Melbourne Cup runners for 2 winners. Phenomenal.
Both 20 years apart, right?
23 years apart.
Yeah, 23 years apart.
So we've got 364 days to prepare for next year's Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, and we'll ultimately pick the wrong horse again, but that's fine.
Well, you might pick the right one, I won't.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's fine then.
You were on target to pick the third horse actually last year, because you're on first, second now.
That's fine, as long as I'm making money.
Yeah.
This week on Saturday at Waikato, race 8 is Apache Ann.
Second up for the prep, lovely first up run, needed it. Got to the line well off a slow speed. Awkward draw again, she'll get back, she'll hit the line, she'll improve in her first up run, she'll go even better. And third up, she should be ready to put her hoof in the till.
Then at Riccarton, race 11 is Freedom Reigns.
Come up well, this mare. Last start, fighting third was good. Jockey dropped his whip with about 100 to go. Not beaten far. Nice enough draw, probably settle handy enough. It's a big field, but she's ready to run well, and she'll be an each way chance at probably 15 or 20 to 1 because of the size of the field.
And then Rosehill race 4, we have Up and Under and Turjanus.
We do.
Yeah.
Up and Under is exceptionally talented. He just hasn't quite adjusted to Australia yet. And he's crying out for a drop of rain. He gets any rain, he'll just grow another leg. So he's likely to have this run over 2,400 metres and then have a break and then bring him back. It's interesting because if he just slots in behind them and just relaxes, there's no doubt he can win this race. No doubt. I would say he's a winning chance, but as he just hasn't quite acclimatised, he could also run 8th. But I'll be having a bet on him. Janus was very, very unlucky not to win 2 starts ago. And last start, just got too far back on a slow speed, finished off well. He's a very good each way chance. He'll love the distance, have no problem with it. He's a really good each way chance. Both the chances, if a little bit of rain comes, their chances go ahead even more. And
then at Eagle Farm race 4 is Logan Street Line.
Yeah, lovely first up run in Queensland for 4th last start, off a slow tempo. The first 2 around the home turn with the first 2 home, he made up good ground. It's a mile, barrier 7, slightly awkward draw, but he should get a nice enough run. As long as there's a reasonable tempo on, we should see him improve on his last start. He's a definite each way chance.
And then Flemington race 8 Atishu.
In the McKinnon Stakes, the champion stakes over 2,000 metres, which she won last year. Via Sistina, the Cox Plate winner's in there and is $1.75 favourite. Is without a doubt the horse to beat. James McDonald is riding her. We have John McNeil on board. We've got Barry 1 this time, so she shouldn't have to do a lot of work, and she should end up being a few lengths closer than she normally has been because of that barrier draw. We're not going to rush her out, but she just should. She should be able to sit a little bit closer. If Via Sistina is looks the winner, but a lot of horses they've had their grand final, they come out of their grand final, and they go to another race and they're not quite at their peak. They're coming down. So she might have had a grand final of the Cox Plate and not quite be at her peak. Atishu's been aimed at this week. She is at her peak. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Atishu is ready to run really well. She had a hard run last start, but she seems to have recovered well. And I'm excited to see what she can do on Saturday. If she could win 2 McKinnons in a row, I don't know if any mares have done that for a long, long time. It'd be very special.
And then on Sunday at Armadale, race 1 is Cabanas.
Rounding out the weekend. So, small field of 6, and she's got barrier 6. It's a bit frustrating, over 1,300 metres, but it shouldn't really matter where she ends up. I think she'll just slot in wherever she is happy, and she's third up, and so she's ready to she's ready to run well. First up she struck a heavy track, no good. Second up she went really well. She just came to the end of it, her run, after looking like she could run third or fourth. This race looks like it'll suit. As long as she should get a nice run in transit. She won't be too far from the turn. She's got a good 2 to foot. It looks a winnable race for her.
And then bet of the week, which is on Saturday at Riccarton Race 8, Nest Egg.
Nest Egg in the Metropolitan. He won this race last year. 2 starts ago he won at Ellerslie. Last start he just ran out of room coming up the straight. He dropped from 60 kilos to 53.5 for this race. The distance is perfect. It doesn't look overly strong. I think he's great value at 340. Nest Egg is the bet of the week.
And that includes Tube Talk.
Thank you very much, Douglas. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Zardozi back behind those circle of fire, Fancy Man, and from a long way back Buckaroo, it's Akita Sushi. Zardozi a length away on the inside, wearing it down. Akita Sushi grabbed by Zardozi. Knight's Choice is coming through at any old price, and Warp Speed as well. Zardozi grabbed by Knight's Choice and Warp Speed coming at it. Knight's Choice, Warp Speed, they hit the line. It's a